Okay, greetings. Let me unpack one of the things that's been going on with my family for the past 5 years. So 5 years ago, 2020, a lot of people have so many stories about what happened to them, what happened to their family. My family, it was just one emergency room visit after another, and each time, the doctors did the lab test, they put all the machines on my mom. And they're like, there's nothing physically wrong with her, go away. Because we have, more important, patients to take care of, which is fair. And finally, at some point, they're frustrated too. I do understand. If your sink is overflowing, you don't call an electrician. So that's exactly what my family was doing, because we're like, we don't. How are we supposed to know that we're supposed to go to a different specialist? So finally, they told us, okay, there is a mental health hospital nearby. Go over there. If somebody can figure out what's going on with your mom, they can do it. So the next time, we were like, you know what? We don't want to, we're going through, what we went through in 2020. We shouldn't bother them, and they are absolutely certain. They checked everything. There's nothing physically wrong. So we finally took our mom to the other hospital, and within a couple of hours, the emergency room, they called their head psychiatrist over. Within 2 hours, bam, we got the diagnosis. So let me wait for a few minutes here. A person was walking near me, so I had to stop. Anyway, they diagnosed her. Oh, it's dementia. Like, wait, what? Because we're like, let me see. When you're with somebody, when your family members are together for every single day, you don't see these changes, and bam, like, oh my gosh, everything makes sense. Now we need to figure out what's the cause. Well, when we lived in the previous place, we had no idea. That house is full of asbestos, lead-based paint, black mold, mildew. Is that the cause? Is that what's going on? And then the other thing that we take a look at, we live next to, typical California, we live next to a highway. Huge air pollution. And then we live in a part of California where there's a lot of, even just like our neighbor's front yard, full of chemical pesticides, chemical fertilizer, chemical herbicide, chemical fungicide. And Northern California, I know some of you probably heard of this. Several years ago, we had really, really, really bad wildfires, and it just completely destroyed the winery industry. So the grapevines, they're all gone. It took several years before we finally started growing grapes again. And the wine industry is starting to come back. So that's really good. I'm waving hi to my neighbor. So we're wondering, is it the chemical pesticides? Is it the fact that we live next to a highway? Is it the fact that our previous house was full of asbestos, mold, lead-based paint? Just a lot of backtracking. And then the other thing too, when my parent was in middle-aged, there was something wrong with one of our female parts, and we saw a doctor. And the doctor's like, you know what? We can either remove the cyst, or if we move one of the cysts, it might come back, or it might grow on the other ovary. At the time, the best, the gold standard was just take everything out. And of course, today, if you look at the research, it says, you know what? I know this may sound like a joke, but this is serious. A woman's brain is not in her head. It's in both of her ovaries. So if you take out the ovaries, there goes, you're going to have early onset dementia. So my family's like, wait a minute, why didn't doctors back then take hysterectomy seriously? Because, fast forward, I had my first surgery. I let them know, this is what happened to my mom. I don't want it to happen to me. If you have to remove one of my ovaries, only remove one. Don't leave the other one there. So yeah, that's the other thing. It's like my mom's dementia. What caused it? Was it pollution? Was it the house that we were living in? Was it the fact that she had a complete hysterectomy when she was middle-aged? So that's where we are right now. I know some of you are like, I'm not going to be in a relationship with a woman. This doesn't apply to me. All of us have mothers. Some of us have sisters. Some of us have female co-workers. Some of us are in school. So we have female classmates. So yeah, that's something to think about. So yeah, you can DM me or, just like the video. You don't need to comment. But yeah, that's one of the things that I'm going through right now. Take care.